Okay, question 16 is a very common pair of questions. On the surface, they look pretty similar. You've got two x terms on the top and an x on the bottom. The big difference is that this one has a multiplication in there, which means we can use multiplication laws, and this one has an addition in there, which means that we have to treat it differently. So when we're multiplying, we can multiply the numbers. So we got 6 times 10. That's easy enough. So 6 times 10 is 60. But then we add the powers of x. So you'd have x to the 13 over 8 plus 3 over 8. And that's over x to the 1/5. Okay, so that would be 60x. So we get 16 over 8, which is 2. So 60x squared divided by x to the 5th. Now, when we're dividing powers, we have to subtract them. So this becomes 60x to the 2 minus 1/5. Well, if we're dealing in fifths, this 2 wholes that we've got here will actually be 10/5. Excuse me. So you end up with 9/5. And 10/5 take away 1/5 is 9/5. So we end up with 60x to the 9/5. And that's it simplified. On this one, because you've got an addition there, we can only add terms together if they have the same, if they're like terms. Well, this term is an x to the 2/5 term. This one is an x to the 4/5 term, so they're different. But what we can do is treat them as, we can separate them like an addition of fractions. We can say that this is 18x to the 2/5 over 9x to the 1/5. And then our plus 9x to the 4/5 over 9x to the 1/5. So I can break it up into 2 questions, because if you imagine adding these fractions together, they have a common denominator. So what we would do is we would add the numerators together, which is what we have there. But now I can simplify this, because I've got 18 divided by 9 is 2. And x to the 2/5 divided by x to the 1/5, we would take them away, so you get x to the 1/5. Plus 9 divided by 9 is 1. X to the 4/5 divided by x to the 1/5 would be x to the 3/5. And then that is it simplified.